Hi there. Okay, today we're going to talk about generators and manifesting generators, specifically sacral generators and manifesting generators. And if you are somebody who finds it really scary to respond, so like when you go to respond, you actually notice that you have a bit of a freak out. So you away from the opportunity, you freeze, you say the wrong thing, you get defensive or argumentative instead of just responding with your authentic truth. This is the video. We're going to talk about that. Now, if we haven't met before, I'm Carolyn Southwell. I'm a 2-4 emotional projector. I've been surrounded by generators and manifesting generators and lots of sacral beings and sacral inner authority beings for a very long time. Most of my family are generators and manifesting generators, and most of them have sacral inner authority. So I have had an opportunity to be able to watch you guys and learn from my observations. And it has taught me so much more than the theory ever would. And what happened in a coaching session the other day, I was doing a session with a sacral manifesting generator. And she was expressing something that was really challenging for her. And I realized as I coached her through it, wow, I've never talked about this on a video before. So this video is going to be most helpful for you if you are a sacral generator or a sacral manifesting generator, but to a lesser degree, if you are also an emotional generator or an emotional manifesting generator and you are afraid to respond, you're struggling with the responding thing, it feels scary, maybe you feel broken, then that's what we're going to talk about in this video. Now, the first thing I want you to know is if you are finding that you have so much resistance to responding with your authentic truth, you are not broken. And equally, human design isn't broken either, right? So one of two things can happen when generators and manifesting generators, particularly you sacral inner authority people, can go to respond in the moment with whatever your truth is. And you're like, human design says I'm designed to respond. And then you go to try and do it. And it's like too hard. You're all frozen. You're all stuck in these stress responses that stop you from responding. One of two things is going to happen. You're either going to blame yourself and think that you're broken, or you're going to blame the human design system and say the system is broken. Like that doesn't work, or I don't work. And I want you to know that neither is true. But there is definitely something uncomfortable and to some degree painful happening for you. So that's what we're going to talk about here. So what is actually happening for you when you are trying to respond as you're designed? Like the sacral center is a responsive center. It's designed to respond to life, to opportunities, to situations. You're designed to respond all day long. But you were doing this from a very, very early age, right from the get-go, because you were born with this aura that behaves this way. And if you were in a childhood situation where you did not feel safe, keyword, safe, where you didn't feel safe to authentically express yourself, responding in the now with whatever your truth was. And sometimes your truth would have been excitement. Sometimes your truth would have been a no when an adult wanted you to say yes. Sometimes the way you responded might have been messy because that was your way, or you were just a little person trying to figure out how to like be in a human body. If that was shut down either like subtly and repeatedly or in a very dramatic, like scary way, then your baby, toddler, little person nervous system learnt it is not safe for me to respond with my authentic truth in the now. So that set up a pattern within your nervous system that is like trying to protect you from harm. But you probably know that saying like what served us then doesn't necessarily serve us now. And that is absolutely the case. If you are an adult sacral generator or sacral manifesting generator, or a different version of one of these sacral beings, and you are struggling to respond, because for you to make the right decisions and be in the right flow of life for you in this incarnation, you have to respond. Have to. It is built into the way that you are wired to do this life. So, what do you do about it? What do you do if it feels so terrifying for you to respond in the now with whatever your truth is? Sometimes that'll be sounds, sometimes it'll be an excited you, sometimes it'll be a quiet no, or there are so many different expressions that might want to come out of you. And if you don't feel safe to express those, it is literally impossible for you to live out the power and beauty of what you came here to do. And we want that. I want that. I want you to live into the full power and beauty of who you came here to be. So we have a sense of why it's happened. And this is not about blaming or shaming your parents or your caregivers or those people who kept you alive. Because you're watching this, it means you're alive. But what do we do about it? Well, you need a tool. Now, for me, what I have been doing over the last 10 years, personally and professionally, is using tapping as a tool. And you may have seen the tapping playlist. I'll pop it up there if you're very new to it. Tapping there's various versions of it. So when we talk about tapping, we're talking about this physical component of the modality. But in all honesty, this bit is it's just the surface level. It's just the way that we tune in to what's actually happening in your body when you feel unsafe being yourself. So if you already know how to tap on memories and experiences where you have felt unsafe to respond in the moment with whatever your truth is, if you're noticing that it can show up in any number of ways. So if instead of responding, you go up into your head and you're thinking, analyzing, trying to figure out what the other person wants, trying to control the situation, over-managing, micromanaging, being a control freak, or you're doing some of these things like procrastinating or second guessing yourself, or you make a decision and then change your mind and you change your mind, that is the exact opposite of what really needs to happen for you as a sacral being. You need to be down in your body, I'm down in here, right? This is where your wisdom is down here, right? So the tapping can help to shift some of that stuff. So if you already know how to tap really well, and you can use it to go into meeting some of those stress responses, or meeting yourself at the time or soon after when you wanted to respond, but you couldn't because you were frozen like a deer in headlights, or you were getting defensive with people, or you ran away from the situation. You flee, right? Your flight response was get the heck out of here because this is too scary to respond. So if any of these stressful reactions were showing up, these are all what we call tappable issues. Now, that's all well and good, but what I've discovered is that a lot of people who know about tapping know how to tap by tapping along to scripts or tapping along to videos. They haven't ever been instructed or taken the time to learn how to tap well enough that you can then know how to tap on anything. And that's what we need. We need you to be empowered. I want you to be empowered so that you can use tapping to then tap on basically anything in any situation whenever you need it. So that's why I created the group classes to teach the modality that I've spent the last 10 years molding through all of my experiences, that I've called trauma-informed tapping. So it is a safe and gentle way for you to be able to tap on your stuff. And as a projector, I don't want to do all the work with you all the time. I want to give you the thing. I want to make sure that you know how to do it. And then I want you to feel empowered to go and work through these layers of stuff. Because here's what I want you to know, is that if you have any area of your life, but let's make sure we're focused in on this idea of, if feeling really scary to respond. If your stress reactions, whether it's fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, which is really just a clever human way of doing freeze a bit differently. If you are having any of those responses and they're very big and they're very strong, what that tells us is you have layers and layers and layers of stuff sitting on top of and preventing you from being able to authentically respond in the moment. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to spend years in therapy. What it means is that you need a tool, and it doesn't matter if it's tapping. If you've got another way to decondition, great. Please use a little bit of it every day. But if you like the idea of tapping, you want to take what you already know with tapping and improve it, or you would just like to learn it from scratch. If you know how to do this work well, like well enough, and it doesn't take very long to learn it, then you can just peel one layer off at a time, because the bigger and stronger the emotional like charge is, the more we have to just peel away a layer at a time. You peel away a layer and then you integrate. You take a day or 2 or 3 off, and then you peel off a layer and you integrate. And you peel off those layers over time, and the quality of your life improves, and your ability to feel safe making correct decisions for you, to responding with your authentic truth, whatever it is that wants to come out of your mouth, to feel safe when you want to say yes and the other person wants you to say no, and to be able to say no when the other person wants you to say yes, etc. Right? So I think I've given you all the pieces there. If you have further questions, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to make sure that on the screen here, I give you a, if you're not somebody who's ready or willing at this point to learn about tapping, I've already given you the tapping playlist previously up here, I think. But what I'll do is on the final screen here, I'm going to give you a playlist for generators and a playlist for manifesting generators. In case this is the very first time you're meeting me and you just need a chance to like binge through some of my stuff and get a sense of me, then that is totally fine. Thank you very much for doing the brave work of coming back to the truth of who you are.